This episode of Finding Every Reference was brought to you by our Patreon supporters. Link in the description if you would like to support the channel. Out of all of the classes in Team Fortress 2, I feel that Demoman has easily the most iconic cosmetics in the entire game. I think that oftentimes he's more well known for his cosmetics than he is for himself. Like, when I say Demoman, do you think of this, or do you think of this? Regardless, what most people don't know is that a lot of these infamous cosmetics are actually references to media outside of Team Fortress 2. So, let's talk about that. Also, thank you for all of the recent support on these videos, I really appreciate it. I can't believe we're already at 4.5 thousand subscribers. It really means the most to me, so thank you guys. Anyways, let's get started. The Glengarry Bonnet is an interesting hat, as its name and visual look are completely separate references. The Glengarry is a kind of Irish hat which would be fitting for the hat itself if it was designed after said headwear. Instead, the creator designed it after a completely different looking hat called the Balmoral Bonnet. Why the creator thought this was okay to do, I have no idea, but there you have it. The Carouser's Capotain has a description that says, "Suffer not a century to live." If you replace the word century with the word witch, this becomes the Bible verse Exodus 22:18. This ties in with the look of the hat, as it's based off of the Puritans, a group known for executing people deemed as witches during the late 1600s and early 1700s. The sober Stuntman technically could have several references, as its general appearance resembles several different Stuntman helmets throughout history. However, the stars and such adorning the helmet seem to most closely resemble Evel Knievel, one of the most famous stuntmen to ever live. The Scotch Bonnet is actually the name for a species of pepper, a species of mushroom, and a species of sea snail. All of these organisms are collectively named after a common traditional Scottish bonnet known as the Tam O Shanter. This leads nicely into... The Tam O Shanter is the namesake of the Scotch Bonnet's many namesakes. The hat itself is named after the character Tam from the Robert Burns poem of the same name. While we're here, we might as well also knock out the Scot Bonnet is also referring to the Scottish bonnet from earlier, and therefore also refers to the Tam O Shanter as well. More notable, however, is that its appearance is a reference to the woolen comforters worn by British commando units during the Second World War. Of course, we do in fact have to bring up World War II at least once, or else this isn't a TF2 references video. Believe it or not, this will be the first time that I don't mention the Vietnam War. Dang it! This is yet another Tam O Shanter, but the namesake of the hat this time is one of the most famous Scottish infantry regiments in the British Army. The Black Watch Infantry Regiment has been around since 1881, making it 142 years old this year, as it's still in service today. Certainly deserving of its own hat. That is a crazy long history. The Reggaelator's appearance and name are culturally tied to Jamaica, where the music genre reggae is most popular. The description of the hat also contains a callback to lyrics in the song Three Little Birds. This song was made by Bob Marley, easily the most prolific reggae artist to ever live. The Samur-eye is our first promotional item of the video. Hooray! Yippee! Yahoo! This is a Kabuto helmet based on Total War Shogun 2, modeled after the Samurai from that game. This is promotional item number 2. The Conjuror's Cowl is the continuation of a long line of promo hats, 7 in total, and as such I'm going to knock them all out in a row for the sake of efficiency, and so I don't have to say promotional item one more time after we're done with this. This is also one of the few promotional items released specifically for DLC, as it was packaged with the Nippon DLC sold for the game Magicka. However, it's not modeled after the DLC, with its look paralleling the appearance of the sorcerers from that game. Promo number, the third one, the Mask of the Shaman was released for and modeled after the game From Dust. I've never heard of, much less played From Dust, but this little guy is on the front cover of the game, so I didn't have to do much digging to find the mask's origin. He looks happy. I like him. For number item promotional, the Bolgan was bundled with Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. The namesake of the item is a very big boy enemy from the same game. Seriously, look at him. He's so round, rotund even, positively spherical. The Grenadier Helm is the only promotional item that has something bundled with it, rather than the other way around. It was awarded to players who purchased Hero Academy, of course, but if you bought it off of the Manco store, you actually received a free copy of the Dwarves Pack DLC for Hero Academy. One of the more unique promo items TF2 has to offer. The Hood of Sorrow was an entry in the Arkham Knight Community Cosmetic Contest, which was an event in 2015 to promote the upcoming Batman game, Arkham Knight. TF2 cosmetic creators were commissioned to create cosmetics based off of the Batman universe. This is the same contest that gave us the 2 Fortnite and the Fearmongerer, as well as a whole host of other cosmetics. The Hood of Sorrows in particular is based off of Azrael, an assassin in the Batman universe who represents the Angel of Death, yet dresses like a crusader from the 12th century. The final promotional item in this list, the Tartan Shade, is often worn by pipe gods who dominate entire servers with zero mercy. This is a bit odd considering the hat comes from a grand strategy game, namely Total War Rome II. I wonder how Demomans get from careful crop management to airshotting flaming American soldiers out of the sky with insane accuracy. What's the pipeline there? Haha! Yeah, I'm killing it! That was an accidental pun. I wrote that in script and didn't even realize. Now that we're done with promotional items, we have to cover the 2 pirate hats Demo has for some reason, starting with the Buccaneer's Bicorne. This lovingly classic pirate hat was modeled after the hat worn by LeChuck in the Monkey Island games. We traveled from strategy games to point-and-click adventure games. But wait, this isn't Sniper! Why did I write this? The Squid's lid is a reference to Davy Jones from the Pirates of the Caribbean series. Despite the name, he is in fact not a squid. He's a combination of an octopus and a crab. You guys really fumbled the bag when naming this one, psych. Come on, Ronan. I was counting on you guys in 2013 to name this cosmetic correctly, not spread misinformation on the internet. Maybe Psych's name is a reference to what he said when he duped the entire TF2 community into believing that Davy Jones is a squid. The Tavish Degroot experience is a play on the Jimi Hendrix Experience, an English-American rock band. The description of the item has lyrics from the song Hey Joe, which was covered by the band and is one of their most famous songs, with over 266 million streams on Spotify at the time of me writing this. The hair of the dog is a pretty cool reference to the English idiom, hair of the dog that bit you. This idiom refers to the act of drinking alcohol after a hangover to make the symptoms go away, referencing Demoman's alcoholism. The Allbrero's name replaces the sum in the traditional Spanish hat sombrero with all, making Allbrero. I think the name is referencing how large the hat is, given sum means a part of the amount and all means the entire amount? However, I'm not really sure what the play on words refers to if it's not this. The hat itself is also made entirely of chip, referencing a common tradition in Spanish and Mexican restaurants, especially in the United States, that gives such hats to celebrate people, usually on their birthday or for some other special occasion. The Frontier Djustice is a reference to both the movie Django Unchained, being modeled after the main character from that movie, as well as the engineer weapon, the Frontier Justice. The fact this isn't a multi-class hat that also works on engineer makes zero sense to me, and I will in fact riot in the streets over it after I upload this video. This abhorrent abomination of headwear, the Manhattan Project, is a reference to, of course, the Manhattan Project from World War II. The explosion is in reference to the purpose of the Manhattan Project, which was to invent the first nuclear bomb before the Axis powers did. Seriously though, why would you ever wear this cosmetic? It's just a mushroom cloud. It's just a mushroom cloud that you are putting on your head. Why would you ever wear this? The Bruce referred to by the Bruce's bonnet is Robert the Bruce, who was the King of Scots from 1306 until his death in 1329. The headwear is specifically modeled after his appearance on the Scottish 20-pound note. The Outta Sight's name references the common phrase out of sight, popularized in the 80s in order to denote something cool or radical. This combined with the high fade hairstyle makes this hat a clear reference to 80s American culture as a whole. As the TF2 wiki adeptly notes, the 80s hasn't even canonically happened yet in the TF2 universe. I guess Demoman is just ahead of his time, huh? The design of the Dayjogger is a reference to the superhero Blade, a human who's mutated to be part vampire. In concurrence with this first reference, the term Dayjogger is a play on the word Daywalker, a name for a vampire that's adapted to resist sunlight. The name of the spirit of the bombing past is a reference to the spirit of Christmas past from Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. The look of the Bomber Knight closely resembles the appearance of Bomberman from the titular character's series of games. It's weird a Bomberman reference didn't enter Demoman's cosmetic set earlier, honestly. It's just so perfect. The Hungover Hero is a one-to-one creation of the character Frozone's helmet from the movie The Incredibles. Combine this with the Frontier Djustice, and Demoman has been given hats from two separate Samuel L. Jackson characters. The Hazard Headgear is the second instance where TF2 references Team Fortress Classic with one of its cosmetics, at least so far in this series. Of course, this resembles the OG Demoman from that game, specifically his appearance in the comics. Though this has never been officially confirmed anywhere by the creator or otherwise, the death stare is very visually similar to Sir Daniel Fortesque from the medieval series. I mean, come on, look at the eyes and the teeth. This is as close to a direct reference as you could get without it being outright confirmed, so I'm counting it. Update the wiki, I am claiming right now that this is a reference to Sir Daniel Fortesque from the medieval series. I'm confirming it here and now. Thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this episode of Finding Every Reference. I am very excited to continue making this series. I wrote this script very fast. I did not realize that I was going to write the script as fast as I did, and it kind of freaked me out in all honesty, because it was a much longer script than I anticipated, and also this is probably my favorite episode that I've gotten to record. Yeah, you know, like, comment, subscribe, all that nonsense. You guys know the drill. I will see you guys all, I think the next video should be coming out, like, in just a few days. It should be about the bot crisis. It'll be a light video for sure, but it'll be a good light video. I think you guys are gonna enjoy it. Anyways, I'll stop taking all of your time. I'll see you guys all next time, same place, same time, and as always, stay lucid. Bye bye.